Welcome dear students. So we move on to the next topic in the subject CE 366 Traffic Engineering and Management. So in the previous class we discussed what is traffic engineering, the scope and the characteristics. Today we are going to discuss the next topic, that is traffic management. Now we know that traffic engineering is a phase of engineering which deals with the planning, geometrical design and traffic operations of the roads and streets and highways, and it is a comparatively new branch which has grown with the increase in the traffic in the recent years. With the development, what happened is that the vehicular traffic began to increase, which has led to the congestion on the streets, and it started to interrupt with the safe as well as efficient movement of the traffic. More and more accidents were caused, and on another one serious problem that is being faced due to the increase in the vehicular traffic is the problem of parking. And we know that nowadays, even in any small roads or any highway, wherever it is, one serious problem that is being faced in most of the cities is the problem of parking and also the environmental pollution. So it was necessary to give attention to the operational characteristics of the highway and also to study the need of all these to give a better geometrical design, transportation, and then capacity, intersections, traffic regulations, signals, etc. So all these needs were sought to be met by the service of a traffic engineer. Now, most of the existing roads, whether it is in cities, in the rural areas or the urban areas, has this problem of congestion, which has become very serious, especially due to the development as well as the increase in the population. And some of the solutions to these problems is to provide a flyover, elevated flyover or a bypass or an urban express highway, etc. And also one more important thing is to widen the roads. But these methods or solutions that are medium or long term are actually very costly. So simple inexpensive solutions can actually meet the crisis for some time. Now coming to traffic management, so traffic management is actually defined as how to use these existing roads and the infrastructure to maximize the effectiveness of the use to reduce the crowding of the traffic. And the fundamental approach of traffic management measure is to restrain as much as possible the existing pattern of the streets and to alter the pattern of the traffic movement. So the streets, the pattern of the streets remaining the same, altering the traffic movement on these streets is one way or one approach to manage the traffic, so that the most efficient use of the system can be made. And the general aim, however, is to reorient the traffic pattern on the existing streets so that the conflict between the vehicles, the pedestrians, that is the road users, etc., can be comparatively or considerably reduced. Now coming to the different sections of traffic engineering. So traffic engineering can be divided into various sections like the characteristics, surveys and analysis, design, planning, etc. And out of this, traffic management is one important section of traffic engineering. So that is what we are going to discuss. So like already I told you, it is an approach, the fundamental approach is to retain the existing pattern of the street and to alter the movement of the traffic on these streets so as to make the system most efficient. Now there are various measures that are adopted for traffic management, like it is listed here. So these are the following are the methods or measures that are usually adopted for managing the traffic. Firstly, restrictions on the turning movements. Restrictions are on the turning movements. Then one-way streets, tidal flow operations, exclusive bus lanes, and closing side streets. So today we will be discussing restrictions on turning movements. So we know that at a junction, the turning traffic can include either people or vehicles turning to the left or turning to the right, isn't it? At any junction, the traffic may lead to left turners or the right turners. So usually in a road, especially in a country like India, left turning traffic does not obstruct the traffic flow through the junction. So left turners can, without obstructing the movement of traffic, they can easily turn to the left and move on. But when it comes to right turning traffic, what happens is it can cause a serious loss of the capacity. So at times what happens is the right turning traffic can in fact lock the flow of the traffic along a road and bring the entire flow to a halt. It can bring a halt or it can cause an obstruction. And one way of dealing with the heavy right turning traffic is to incorporate a separate right turning phase in the signal scheme. So we have to incorporate or introduce a separate phase in the signal itself, during the signal design itself, so that it does not hinder the normal flow of traffic. That is one way. Or we can introduce an early cutoff or a late start arrangement. So however, these schemes and all, like the early cutoff or the late start arrangement, they have their limitations, and so it cannot be we cannot effectively introduce these. Now the restrictions on turning moment, these are the topics like I told you. First is the problem posed by the turning traffic. So when it comes to the left turning traffic, it does not usually obstruct the traffic. However, the right turning traffic can cause a serious loss of capacity, or it can interrupt with the normal flow. Now coming to the next topic, that is prohibited right turning movement. So prohibited right turning movement means, so this can be established only if the existing street is capable of accommodating an alternative routing. So whenever we prohibit a right turning on a road or at a junction, this is possible only if we provide an alternative routing for the traffic. So depending upon the existing layout, so we know that in traffic management, without changing the layout of the road, the traffic movement is what is being controlled. So in the depending on or based on the existing layout of the streets or the roads, there are three methods available for prohibiting a right turning movement. So we'll see that. So as you see here in figure A, there are three methods. One is T-turn, then the G-turn and the Q-turn. So we'll see each of this. So first considering the figure 1 or figure A, here you can see the diversion of the right turning traffic to an alternative intersection further along the road where there is more capacity for dealing with the right turn. So here what happens is the right turning traffic is diverted to an alternative intersection. As you see in figure A, it is diverted to an alternative intersection here along that road itself, along the road, and there is more capacity, and thus it can deal with the right turn. So this is actually shown in this figure, and we call this as a T-turn, and this is often used mainly for dealing with a difficult right turn. Suppose there is a minor road from which you have to take a right turn and go to a major road. In such cases, we usually adopt this method, that is a T-turn. So alternative method or alternative routing like a T-turn is provided in such cases, especially when we are dealing with a difficult right turn from a minor road to a major road. So here you can see the next one, that is in figure B, and it is known as a G-turn. So here what happens is the diversion of the right turning traffic to the left before the junction. So just before the junction, that diversion is taking place towards the left, and this is known as a G-turn, and this is mainly used for a right turn from a major road, and here it is converted to a left turn from the major road and a straight over movement at the original junction, as you see in figure B. So this is called as a G-turn. Now coming to figure C, that is a Q-turn here in figure C. Here the diversion of the right turning traffic beyond the junction. So here the diversion takes place. I hope the figure is clear. Here the diversion of the right turning traffic is beyond the junction, and we call this as a Q-turn. And here there are 3 left turns, and it requires the driver to travel twice through the original junction. So here you can see the driver will have to travel twice through the original junction, and thus we call it as a Q-turn. So in this case what happens, because he has to travel twice, it increases the total volume of traffic that is handled at the junction. And this is also called as least obstructive, or it is considered least obstructive because only left turns are involved in this. So we know that left turning traffic does not hinder much with the flow of traffic. So here it is not very much obstructive because only left turns are involved. And prohibition of the right turning movement has actually increased the saturation flow and the capacity of the junction. But it is desirable also to remember that the prohibition of a right turn at any junction will not make the problems disappear, because the problem that is, whenever there is a right turn at any junction, we cannot just give a solution by prohibiting the right turn. So we have to give some other efficient alternative routing. So this is what is the prohibition of a right turning movement. Now coming to the prohibited left turning movement. So left turning prohibition is not very obstructive as a right turning prohibition, because here it does not hinder the traffic except for the pedestrians. So if at all there is pedestrians who are crossing the road along the other left side, then we have to be more careful. And here this prohibitions may be needed to provide a safe crossing for the pedestrians, especially whenever the pedestrians will cross the minor road, that is pedestrian traffic across the minor road whenever it is too heavy. In such cases, prohibition of the left turning movement is one way of managing the existing problem. So I hope it is clear, restrictions of turning movements. So next we will move on to the next topic in the next class or in the next video. Thank you.